Let's start with the Bowflex power rods. The first thing you realize is that they move and flex. Never stand in the path of the rods. When you go to hook up the rods, do it like this. Stand away from the path of the rods and keep your face away. You can hook up multiple rods at once, but you should always remove and add rods one at a time. Always control the rod when you remove it. Never just let it go and snap back. We supply you with a rod binding strap that can be wrapped around the power rods, which helps to keep them straight and performing at their strongest. We strongly recommend that you bind the power rods after each workout. From a safety standpoint, you want to inspect the rods, the rod hooks, the snap hooks, cables, pulleys, hand grips, and all other bolts and fasteners before each workout. You want to make sure that there is no wear and tear and loose bolts or fasteners. If you encounter any issues, do not use the machine. Call our customer service department immediately. The Ultimate 2's adjustable pulley system gives you the ability to vary both the upper and lower pulley positions for different exercises. You can also vary your angle of resistance within a single exercise to create different effects on the muscles. To adjust pulley positions, unscrew the lock knob, then pull the knob outward and slide the pulley to the desired position. Be sure to retighten the knob once its new position is set. Also, if you've got a lot of weight attached, you'll want to remove or decrease the resistance for easier adjustment. The lat tower enhances exercises that work back, shoulder, and triceps muscles. Before using the lat pull down, make sure that all fasteners are in place and tightened. When you're not using the bent lat bar, always place it in the bar holders or remove it when not in use. Do not hang from the lat tower or attempt to perform chin-ups from the bent lat bar. These hooks are not designed to support a person's weight. And finally, never pull on the lat bar unless there's resistance attached to it. The Ultimate 2 features an integrated, anatomically correct squat station that helps ensure proper positioning of the knees and feet while supporting the back completely. To set up the squat station, simply remove the seat back and set it off to the side. Make sure the sliding seat is in the forward locked position. And then you're going to lift the seat rail, and this is critical. Back on the lat tower is a rail securing device. And you'll notice that there's a large hole in the rail itself. Fit the securing device in the hole and listen for it to click. Listen for it to secure and lock into position. And then the rail will stay right where you put it. Next, you're going to need the actual squat attachment. And notice on the back, there are 4 prongs. The 2 bottom prongs are angled upwards. Notice on the bottom of the sliding seat, there are 4 mounting pegs. The bottom 2 upward-facing prongs need to be slid up around the bottom 2 mounting pegs. And while pushing upward, push backwards, and the whole thing will secure in place with this locking device right here on the inside of these 2 pads. And every time you lock something into place, make sure you listen and feel for the click to make sure that it is secure. Now, if you remember the locking mechanism for the sliding seat itself, pull it out, turn 1/4 of a turn. The whole mechanism will come down slightly, and it's now resting up on the squat locking mechanism that you'll use later when we learn how to actually perform the exercise. Next, you'll need to attach the resistance. This is the final step. Make sure you have little or no resistance on the cables. You can easily put it up on the cable hook. Same thing on each side. And you are ready to squat. Now, the next key is getting back, when you're finished, back to the original position. Virtually work backwards, but there are a couple of little interesting steps. Number 1, again, you need to take off most of the resistance so that you can easily remove the cables from the squat attachment. Listen carefully. Turn the seat locking pin on the sliding seat 1/4 of a turn. So it is now going to lock again when you push upward. Did you hear that? So now it's locked into the rail again. And now I'm prepared to take off the squat attachment itself. You need to come around to the front and grab the bar right behind the squat pad, the shoulder pad. Reach inside and pull forward on the little handle that locks the squat attachment into place. Keep good hold of it so you can bring it right down safely. And now the final step, getting the rail back down so you can use your machine the way you normally would. The rail securing device has a handle on it. You grab the handle and slide it backwards towards the power rods while taking tension off of it by pushing the rail up just a little bit towards the tower. And as you come down, make sure that your rail supporting leg is right there. And now you're in your position to put the seat back on or do any other exercises you choose to do. Your Bowflex Ultimate 2 comes with a unique leg attachment. Follow these steps to secure it to the machine. First, take a look at the leg attachment. You'll notice 4 prongs at the bottom, with 2 of them being longer than the others. You'll also notice on the end of the machine itself 4 mounting pegs. The 2 longer prongs will go over the bottom 2 pegs, and before you push down, pull the attachment towards the machine. Then slide it downward into place. And I'd like for you to push down with your entire body weight because this is a tight fit. We want it to be secure. Next, take the seat back off and put it right here where you can grab it in just a minute. We'll need it. And next, pull the pin, the locking pin on the sliding seat, and slide it all the way forward. Not just to the forward locking position, but as far as it can possibly go. Next, take the leg attachment seat. And you'll notice on it, there are also 2 prongs on the front and 2 more top mounting pegs. As you put those into position and slide the prongs down onto the pegs, you'll also notice that the bracket, the rear bracket on the seat, fits right into the hinge bracket on the sliding seat. And if the sliding seat's not all the way forward, those will not fit together correctly like a little jigsaw puzzle. Next, take the seat back and find the hinge down here at the bottom and put it in the hinge bracket on the leg attachment seat. Allow it to rest on the main rail. And finally, all you need to do is attach the cable to the leg attachment itself. With little or no resistance on the other end, pull the cable out and put it over the cable hook. And of course, you'll need to do both sides so that you have a nice even pull when you're doing your exercises. And that's it. The leg attachment is the foundation for the preacher curl attachment. So make sure that everything on the leg attachment is securely in place and that the cables are affixed so that you can have resistance. You simply won't need the seat portion of the leg attachment. Instead, you'll use the preacher curl pad, which again has 2 prongs that fit over the mounting pegs. It's very simple to put in place. Next, come around to the front of the machine. And the first thing you might want to do is reposition the actual movement arm. And you do that by sliding this little bracket downward. Bring it forward to probably the first notch. You'll also notice that there's a webbing strap with adjustable D-ring positions for altering the actual length for the curling bar. We'll talk about actual positioning of those when we get to the curl instructions themselves. But for now, you are set up for preacher curls. It's easy to adjust your bench. Identify the locking pin mechanism underneath the sliding seat. Simply pull straight out and slide from a flat bench position to an inclined position. And always listen for and feel the locking pin going securely into place. You'll also notice that the special hinge on the bench allows you to remove the back pad. And now you have plenty of room for standing exercises and even to put your feet up on the frame for exercises like leg presses. One more thing about this seat. If you pull the pin and then turn 1/4 of a turn, the seat will slide freely. And this free motion of the seat is perfect for your aerobic rowing exercise. One of the most convenient parts of the Ultimate 2 is that you can fold it up and move it. And here's how to do that. First, take the seat back completely off the unit and just set it over to the side. Make sure that the sliding seat is locked in the forward locking position. And you're going to lift the entire seat rail and use the rail securing device on the lat tower, put it through the big hole in the middle of the rail and listen for the click. And make sure before you let go that the rail is in fact secure and not going to come down. This rail support leg folds right down by the ground. And then finally, there's a handle back here on the platform that unlocks the platform. Squeeze it, you may use both hands if you want to, and lift the entire platform. And as you lift, the wheels are going to protrude from the bottom, creating almost a dolly type effect. So you can roll the machine into the corner if you don't want it out in the middle of the room when you're not using it. And then to prepare it again for use, we're going to go through a similar yet reverse process. We're going to squeeze the handle, unlocking the platform. And then after you lower it into position, lift the rail support leg right down here and bring it all the way back until it stops. Next, grab the rail securing device, and there's a little handle on it. You might take some tension off of it by pushing upward on the rail, and it'll easily unlock by sliding it towards the power rods. Lower the rail down. Notice that the support interconnects with the end of the rail, and now you're ready to use your machine again. Securing the ab attachment is very simple, but first, before you pick it up, take note of the 4 prongs on the bottom of the attachment, as well as the 4 mounting pegs on the rail support, because those will need to interlock in order to secure safely. It's probably best if you go ahead and stand behind the machine, and then take a look at the longer prongs, the ones that are way down at the bottom. Just kind of seat those on those lower mounting pegs, and then raise the whole thing, tilting it forward, and then slide straight down. Take a look to make sure that the prongs are all the way over the pegs so that everything is safe, and then all you need to do is hook up the resistance on the end of the cables, and then you'll use the device from this side. The Bowflex Ultimate 2 has an optional DVD player for work-along videos or any other entertainment. Just remove the black cover piece, making sure you're careful not to damage the mounting tabs. The DVD player mounts to the back of the lat tower and allows for 3 different viewing angles. To operate, simply push the on button and the tray will open automatically. Insert a DVD, close the tray, push play, and enjoy your workout. The Bowflex Ultimate 2 Home Gym comes with 2 sets of hand grips and a foot harness. The first hand grip is a standard style that can be used not only for a standard grip, but also for a hammer grip, where the grip is in line with the cable. The second is a triple function grip. First, it can be used as a hand cuff grip. Just slip your hand through the cuff portion so that the foam pad rests on the back of your hand, and grasp the remainder of the grip that's sitting in the palm. The ankle cuff grip, in which the cuff opening can be made larger to accommodate your ankle, and the arch cuff grip, where the D-ring is on top of your foot, the handle is under your arch, and the cuff is behind your heel. To attach the foot harness, lay it on the floor so that the entire plastic plate and stitching are visible. Undo the hook and loop closure, and make sure the small webbing loop is at the top towards your toe, and the large heel loop is at the back. Put your foot on top of the plastic plate, and pull the toe loop over the ball of your foot. Using both hands, cinch both toe buckles by pulling the loose ends outward. Take the hook and loop closure and secure it around your midfoot. And finally, cinch both heel buckles by pulling the loose ends forward. To remove, lift up on the outside of each buckle. I wanted to take just a minute and tell you a little bit about the resistance device in your Bowflex. Now, you may have noticed us using this term before, power rods. The power rod is what gives the Bowflex its unique tension for a resistance device. And this thing is not just fiberglass. A lot of people say, so it's like a bow and arrow, it just bends, it's just like fiberglass. Actually, no, it's a composite. It's a polymer that was designed specifically for the purpose of creating resistance in this exercise device. You'll notice that on the end of these rods, there's a number labeling the potential resistance within this power rod. This is a 10, for example. Now, when I first hook up the rod, there's a slight bend in it, and that slight bend creates about 2/3 of the resistance that's labeled on here. So I'm going to get roughly 6 pounds of resistance at the starting position with this 10-pound rod. As it continues to bend, I'm going to have a progressive or slightly increasing resistance. And when it's taken all the way to the bottom, where the cable runs out and we're touching the pulley, I'll have roughly 100% of the labeled resistance. And that's going to be true of the 50s, the 10s, the 30s, and of course we're going to use a combination of these rods to create every variety you want between 5 pounds and up to 310 or 410 pounds depending upon your specific Bowflex. Before worrying about your level of resistance, take the time to learn the proper movement. The most common mistake people make is just jumping into exercise. Take as long as you need to actually learn how to control each movement you decide to perform. Then finding the proper resistance is critical. It depends on your current ability level and how well you've learned that movement. The key? Start light. You should only feel minimal challenge in the beginning. Let your tissues adapt, and over the course of the next few workouts, slowly add resistance until you fatigue at your desired repetition range. So, if your goal is to do 10 repetitions, you're going to slowly work your way up until you find the weight that allows you to do 10 perfect repetitions, but not 11. Also, it's very important to remember that if you typically use traditional dumbbells or Nautilus machines, you won't necessarily be able to perform the same amount of weight you do with that equipment as is indicated with the Bowflex power rods. Make your resistance choices based on this machine and what feels right for your body on the Bowflex. As stated before, consult your physician before beginning any exercise program. Once you're ready to begin, please familiarize yourself with your training manual and watch the instructional portion of this video for proper form and use of your machine. Overall, your Bowflex Ultimate 2 requires very little maintenance. To keep your Bowflex in top condition, check all fasteners and power rod caps before each workout and tighten as needed. As always, check all the fasteners, pulleys, and webbing for wear and tear. If you find anything wrong, stop using your Bowflex and call customer service. The following section is not meant to be a work-along workout video. It's meant to provide some instruction and insight into how to get the most out of every exercise Bowflex has to offer. I repeat, this is not a workout video. It's an instructional video for technique. Before beginning any exercise program, consult your physician or health professional. Only he or she can determine the exercise program that is appropriate for your particular age and condition. If you experience any lightheadedness, dizziness, or shortness of breath while exercising, stop the exercise and consult your physician.